Okay, today we'll talk about making a presentation in InDesign. So again, we have InDesign here, InDesign here. I guess we're using the 2019 InDesign. Hopefully somebody's logged in. Uh-oh, Gene's logged in. Should we just use Gene's account?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's use Gene's account. So, in this case, InDesign is made by, and I think I told you the story of InDesign, right? Back in the 90s, we had, in late 80s, we had Ventura Publisher. And we had, what was the other one? Ventura Publisher and Quark Express. Quark Express. And then, of course, Adobe came out with their own desktop publishing program in early 2000s. And it wasn't very good, but eventually they integrated with their Adobe products and it kind of took over. That's where we got InDesign today. InDesign has been evolving over the years. One of the things that they really expected InDesign to be was a e-publishing, what they call e-publishing program in the around 2010, I would say, about 10 years ago. They wanted you to be able to use InDesign and be able to publish directly from InDesign to a web page in what they call e-publishing. And it would do something called, and they built in some tools to do that. And basically what it was a hybrid app. It was an app that was both that was not necessarily code, like Xcode or Swift or Android or that. It was a basic HTML kind of CSS JavaScript kind of app, and you could do that directly in InDesign. And you used a program called they bought a company. What was it called? I don't know. I can't remember the name of the company, but they bought a company that had the technology to do that. And they thought it was going to be the latest and greatest things. The problem that they ran into is that it wasn't that easy. Not necessarily to use the tools, it's just that the browsers and the hardware just didn't accept it as easy as they thought it would be. And people found that making a native app was much better than using this hybrid technology. A hybrid technology, the problem with hybrid apps, and the term hybrid apps come from you using, like I said, just the CSS, HTML, and JavaScript to build an app. The problem with that is that you're limited in the abilities of that app. But they thought they could use this wonderful program InDesign to do that. So first thing you need to do is make a decision of what size. Are you going to make a visual presentation that's going to be on a screen like a PowerPoint presentation, or are you going to do something that's going to be printed like it's going to be on paper? Now, it does not mean you can't take the paper printed and present that. It's just that I can go and make the standard, high definition, what's high definition, 1920 by 1080, boom, and boom, presentation, this way. Or I could go and make it this way for going on to print. So I don't know which way you want to make presentation or print. I'm going to make print. We'll just do a standard print. How about that? Okay. We can present it like this. It's going to be, I don't know. Or we can print it. We can make it standard 8.5 by 11 this way. How about that? And then you can do both presentation, and when you print it out, it'll print out kind of like this, and kind of like Jennifer's, right? Isn't that like that? Right? This is InDesign. It's 8.5 by 11 probably this way. Prints out as well as presents. Okay, so if we go and we print, we can go into File, New, Document. Again, remember I talked about the ebook? You might look into that. Some people might still be using it. It might be a good skill for you to learn. Remember I talked about the well, no, book is a book. I don't know. How about we just go document? In the document, you come over here and it says picas, and you're like, what the hell's a pica? Pica is a measurement that comes from printing. Okay, usually printing press measurement. You could change that to inches if you would like. Right there, inches, 8.5 by 11, and then we can use the what am I saying? This one. I'm going to turn off facing pages. What is facing pages? Where you have pages that are like this, right? Like in a book, you go like this, and then when you open it up, that's a facing page. 2 pages next to each other. I don't need that because I'm going to do a presentation with one thing on each page. So I'm going to turn facing pages off. I don't want it to be like that. Okay? So I turn the facing pages off. You could say how many columns you want. I don't want columns. I'm going to go with one big column. Basically, the columns are like it says, right? Where you have columns on a page like this. Do you want columns? And the thing to keep in mind is I'm just making one page for each piece of content. Overview, one page. Persona, one page. I might use columns and something like that if I have text that's going to run from column to column to column, and then page to page to page, right? I would use columns if I'm doing something that has text that's running, like a book or a magazine, right? Text is going to run, so I'm going to turn that into one big column. Then we have margins. These are just around the edge. Right now it's at a ½ inch around the edge. It's fine. I like to do that so that it prints out properly. And then bleed and slug is if it's the text is going, or the images are going outside the kind of print area. And when you're done, you hit OK. Comes up with a document. You see your margins there as your document. First thing I'm going to do is bring up the Pages window under Pages. Where's Pages? Pages, you see Pages? Pages. Okay, I'm going to drag that out a little bit so I can see it. Okay, and then whatever that is. Okay, so how this program works, I'm going to close this thing here. There we go. I do want to keep properties up though. There we go, properties. There we go, Pages, properties. Okay. So most presentation software and most publishing software has something called a master. Like, you ever use PowerPoint, right? If you're using PowerPoint to make your slide, you use the master, and then you make slides from the master, right? Make a screen. The master is like the template. Then you make the other screens from it. So here is the same way. You'll notice in Pages, see Pages right there, you'll see something called the master. What you do with the master is you make the master with what you want on every screen. So let's say that I want on every one of my screens my name with the copyright info at the bottom of the screen, maybe a background color instead of plain white. You want to have a nice color and maybe whatever. Maybe you want text or logo on every screen. You put it in the master, and every time you make a new page, it copies from the master. In addition, you can do things like page numbering, right? Where you put a page number on there, and every time you make a new page, it puts a new number there. Wouldn't that be nice? And you don't have to put the number there. So a lot of things that are done automatically you can do in InDesign. So let me show you how to do that. We'll do a page number, we'll do a background, we'll put a logo on there, we'll put our name on there with the copyright information in the master. So every time I make a page, all that stuff is on there. So here we go. First thing you're going to do is click on the master. Somehow. There we go. Click master. How do I get to the master? One master. Master one. Am I in the master? Yeah. I guess I'm in the master. Am I in the master? I always make that mistake of trying to get into the master. And let me zoom out a little bit. Really? Jeez. Sorry. The screen is kind of messy here. Here we go. I'm in the master. Yeah. See how it says master down here in the lower left corner? A master. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is let's change the background color. Again, here's properties. The reason why I brought properties up is the properties is there. See the master right here? We're going to edit the page. What do we want to do? No, we don't want to back. We don't want to edit the page. We have it already set. What do we want to do? We want to do the background color. I don't know how to change the background color. I thought it was in properties. Hold on. Where is background color? Object and layout. Hold on, let me pause my video for a moment. I'm going to leave it white. Okay, let's import. Again, I'm in the master, so I'm going to put my logo on there. So to bring my logo in, I'm going to say Insert, File, Place. And in your place, maybe we're doing food. Let's put our bread icon in there. bread icon. So maybe we have a bread icon that's going to be down here. Why is this here? Let me zoom in. So I can bring this in. This could be an Illustrator file or whatever. Notice one of the things is it's linked. So when you bring things into InDesign, they're linked to InDesign, which means that you need to keep track of where the pieces are that you bring into the program, just like you would in HTML, right, or something like that. It's linked. It's not part of the file. Next, I'm going to put some information along the bottom down there. Let's put in our information. To put in information in there, we go under the insert option where we go and hold on, I got to. It's been a while. Insert special characters, symbols. There we go. These are the ones I want down here. Okay, so we got our logo on there. Let's put it somewhat. I think it's fine there. Maybe we'll keep it inside the margin. And then let's put our text on. I'm going to use text right here. Here's my text. And so I'm going to click on there and draw a box for some text. And the copyright symbol is option G. G is in goat, option G. And then put your name in there. And so what's our project? This is going to be bread app. It's an app that teaches you how to make bread. How about that? We'll call it bread app. And then Jeff Raskoff, and then put the date in there, 2019. How about that? You can highlight that text. You can change the font as well. This horrible default font. Bedoni. What do we want here? Giddy up. Don't use things like that. How about impact? There we go. Impact. Or impact. Let's make it. Ooh, that's too big. There we go. And let's line that with the bottom of our thing there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to duplicate that by holding down the option, click and drag. Oh, jeez. This mouse. Option, click and drag. And then I'm going to highlight this text that's over here, and I'm going to right align it, if I can find the right align here, right align. I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to move it so it is right on the corner here. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller here. The mouse has something goofy. Maybe, am I touching the edges, I think? I don't know. So I have an empty box of text. I basically duplicated the text that was here, right? Basically an empty box of text. I duplicated this text and put it over there. In doing so, duplicating the text, of course, it took on the font and the font size, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the numbering system so that every time you make a new page, it's going to put a number in there. Remember I talked about numbering? To add the numbering to your page, if you go underneath the type, under special characters, white space, insert character, fill with it. I think it's under special characters, symbol, markers, hyphens. It's under here somewhere. Hold on. Bullet number list. I think I had to click in there. There we go. We got the I bar. Get the I bar doing this thing. The I bar. Now let's go under type. What do we want? We want the current page number. That's the one. So it's under type, special character, current page number right there. If I click on that, it'll put in A for A is for the master. This is master A. That's why. I think it will put a page number in once you go out of the master and say make a page from the master. I think it'll put a number in there. Does that make sense? It was under type. It was under type, special character, markers, current page number. If it's grayed out, get the I bar flashing in there. Click, make sure the box has the I bar. It needs to be flashing in there. Right? Here, let's see. Remember, here, look at my, if I zoom in, the I bar is flashing. So you get the I bar to flash. Okay, and then you should be able to put the page number in there. Okay, so we have our logo, we have our copyright symbol, and we got our I-bar. Okay, so the master's kind of set. I'm not going to put in a title in there. You would think, hey, with a master I could put a title in there, and then every time I make a new one it'll put a new title. The problem with that is that the master wants everything to be the same, and the titles are not the same. We have the overview on one, right? We might have persona on the other, right? So we don't really put the title in there. I might put in my columns and my boxes for the information in the master. So I might put a box in there for the information, but not necessarily put the information in there. I might put a grid line in there or a box for text, but I'm not going to put the text in there until later. Does that make sense? I'm going to put invisible boxes basically for the layout, and then after you make the page, then you put the information in there. You know what I'm trying to say? I think so. Let's try. So at the top of my page here, I'm going to put in some text. How about we put a blue bar in there? You want to put a bar in there? Let's put a little bar in across. We'll put a bar. I'm going to put a box. There's tools over here. Right here is a box tool or a rectangle tool right here, right? In the rectangle tool is you have the same things that you have inside of Illustrator. You have a fill and stroke. So if I put a rectangle box up there, I can use the eyedropper here. Here's the fill and the stroke. Remember fill and stroke? So I'm going to double click the fill there. Let's use the eyedropper and suck up. Can I go out here? I can't go out and suck up this. I hit cancel here. Here's an eyedropper. Can I suck up this? There we go. I want this color. No? Can I use that there? How do I get that in there? Yes. Add this theme to swatches. I guess so. I guess that added the swatches. Okay. And then I want to double click here. Where's my swatches? Oh, here we go. Here's the color. There is an eyedropper right here. See it? I guess you got to go out and suck it up. There we go. Finally, I was able to suck that up somehow. And then I'm going to turn off the... No, I didn't want that. How do I turn off the stroke? How do I turn off the stroke? No. Why can't I turn off the stroke? Stroke. Stroke. Stroke is over here. Turn it off. No. Really? None. Whoosh. It's painful, I know. It's a little bit different than Illustrator. We're so used to Illustrator. So we have a box here, and in this box I'm going to put some text. In that text I'm going to put my... So I'm going to make a text box here. I'm going to make a text box here. To make the text box, I'm going to use the T tool. So again, I have a white text in there. Now if you click inside there, it thinks you're going to want to attach it to that box, which is okay, but you might not want that. I'm going to undo that. So if I'm using the text, so you notice again, if I'm using the text tool and I click over top of the box, you'll see that. See how it turns the I-bar to that? What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drag a box myself, and then I'm going to type in some text. Just for a placeholder here. And then I'm going to change my size and my font. Woo! Not that big. How about we go 24? And let's get a nice big bold text here. I know this font is not very good here. No, I don't want to use impact again. Ooh, look at the sheep. I like the sheep. I don't have any decent fonts on this. How about the Palantino? Bold. And then we're going to make it white. How do I change the color to white? No, paper? I want paper. I want white. Damn. I can't get white. There we go. White. Almost white. And then I'm going to drag that over top. There we go. So we have some text. Okay. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay. Next. Next, I'm going to give the, so this is where my overview and stuff like that will go, right? Do you know what I'm saying? This will be the title of the page that I'm working on. We'll get rid of the text that says some text. But again, all I did was make a box, and then I put some text over top of that. So that'll be the title of my page. Each page will have the different kind of overview, persona, color layout, so on. So I have that. Next, I'm going to make some boxes here for the information. Okay. So most likely, I'm going to have some designs here, and then some text over here. And when we use the master, you're not, you can't really change the master, but what you can do, and so you might want to just not leave it blank like that. Let's not add anything here. We're just going to leave it like this. This is it. We're done. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this so that we can make this anything we want. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is make, how about we do make, no, let's leave it like it is. The more you put into master, the harder it is to change later. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to delete the text, though, because I don't want this text there. I don't want I want the box there, but I don't want the text on every page. I want different text in there on each page. Does that make sense? I think that'll work. I'm not sure. This is something I'm going to experiment with. So again, I have that there. I have that there. Let me zoom out. Okay, so that's just kind of my master. Then we can morph this into whatever we want inside here. Okay. So when we're done with the master, I'm going to go back to the pages. You can see all the pages now. Look at them. They're all taking on the characteristics. Do you see them? So let's go to page 1. I'm going to double click on page 1. Again, page 1 is here. So again, I went back to pages. See how pages, I went back to pages? And look at page 1. Look at it, has what there? Look at page 2 will have. Page 3 will have. The problem that I have, though, is my title screen I want to be different. Right? I want my title to be different than this. So how do I make one page that is different than this? Almost like the title in PowerPoint, right? You ever notice the title in PowerPoint is different than the PowerPoint slides? Have you guys learned PowerPoint? Word? Excel? My class is called Intro to Computing. I will teach you how to use all the Office suite. Tuesday, Thursday, 12:30 to 2:30. Come next semester. Teach you all Office. Okay, here we go. So I want to make one that's different than the master. One that's different for the title. To make one that's different than the master, in the upper corner here, you'll see that there is a way to make new things. Again, remember the little lines that are in the upper corner of Adobe things, right? Up here, remember these little 3 lines up here? They're different, right? So any of these pop-up windows, they all have these, see, they all have these little 3 lines, 4 lines, I guess. If you click up there, you'll notice you have insert pages, move pages, duplicate spread, delete spread, print spread, new master, apply master to pages, override all master page items, master pages, create alternating number, numbering and section options, page attributes, new pages, view pages, page. So I'm going to say insert pages. And I'm going to choose where it says master, I'm going to say none. So insert pages and say none. And I'm going to say before pages. So I want it above this. So it's going to be above this, before, no master. It's going to be a blank white one. We can make it whatever we want. And then it's fine to start there. Yeah. Because really, page title is not going to have a page number. It's okay. And so that's how I make a page that's blank that doesn't have the master. You see how I did that? New pages, none, before this one. And then hit OK. So there we got a blank one. Let's make a big, how about we make it all pink like our logo. I'm going to draw a big box. And let's make that beautiful pink. Where's my swatches? Didn't I add swatches here somewhere? Or we got my eyedropper? I don't understand why I can't suck up a color. There we go. I don't like the color sucker in this thing. Let's insert our logo. Our logo is here. Oh, it's in the master. Let's insert it again. How about we insert it again? Insert, where's my logo? Where's my logo? Place. My logo, here it is. And it's not a very nice piece of bread because you can't see it. Okay, so what can we do? Well, how about we put a... Well, I guess this doesn't need to be all pink, does it? We can, maybe let's adjust this. How about we do like half and half? We do this. A big box there. How about we do this? We got a box on top, and how about we do a box on the bottom? We do something like this, and then we got our bread there. And then what do we say we're going to call this? Bread app. So let's put our text in there. Draw a box with some text. We call it bread app. And let's give it some characteristics. What did we use? We used impact. And let's make it really big. And then let's put and if you get this icon that looks like this with the little plus, do you see that? This little plus icon, it just means there's more text there. If you make your box bigger, you can then see your text. I might make this text a little smaller. Maybe adjust the line spacing. Well, we'll just put an extra space in there. There we go. And then let's put one more line in there. And we'll put in the date. What is the date today? 12/3/2019. There we go. How about that for a title? Okay, so again, the most important thing is you know how to make a blank page without the master. Did you see how I did that? And then just put in whatever you want. I just slapped that together. Okay? Let's get to making a page with some graphics, and I'll show you how to wrap the text around if you want to do text wrapping, right? You know the word wrapping? Where the text wraps around something. Then we'll talk about bullets in case you want to put a bullet in there. There's a lot of things you might want to list in bullet form. Maybe in your persona, your person has bullets to them, right? Their occupation, their age, their there, right? So, and something like that. So I'll show you how to make a bullet and stuff. Any questions so far? I know. Hold on, let me pause my video. I'll come and help you. I think this text is going to work because I don't think I can change it because it's in the master. So I know I put it there, but I don't think I can change it. But what might be nice, though, is that since I placed it there, at least I have kind of a guideline, right? So since it's in the master, you can't really change it. So maybe with, the advantage of doing that is that I can then go and use the text tool and then draw right over top of it. How about that? And notice how it kind of locks to it, right? So then I can type in overview. And then let's change the font size or font. Keeps going to this horrible font. What we're going to do, we were going to do Palatino, right? And we're going to do bold. And we were going to make it big. And we were going to make it white. Okay. So I know I couldn't really use the text from the master, that box that was in the master. But of course I was able to use the box itself. Let's save before we crash. Let's save before we crash. I don't want to have to start doing this again. And what are we doing? We're doing our project presentation. Project presentation. Oh, it is on page 2, isn't it? Oh, it is recognizing that this blank page is a page 1. So it does start with page 2. Look at page 3? No, page 2. Page 2. Okay. Okay, let's say in my overview I want to have a screen of my project. Remember we did a basic sketch thing? Remember we did a sketch thing of my example? Remember my examples? Let's steal from Sketch. I'm going to go to Sketch. Remember we did this right here in class from Sketch? Right? Remember we did this in Sketch? So I want to include maybe this screen in there, or maybe this screen in there, right? I want to take this content of this screen and include it into, or how about this one? This one's kind of nicer. I want to include this screen into my my overview, because this is like, you know, my final design. I want to have it next to my writing of my overview, maybe. Can I copy and paste from Sketch to InDesign? Yes. Uh-oh. Undo that. I forgot. I failed to recognize. Hold on. When you're resizing things inside of InDesign, where's my tools now? I lost my tools. Damn. Here they are. When you're using the tools tool, the boxes, you have to kind of grab the inside. It's weird on resizing. I need to scale, because it thinks you want to scale the box. It's this one right here, free transform. This one is kind of the box. See how it's called selection tool right there? Unlike in Illustrator where you use this to resize things, you have to actually use this tool right here. The one that says free transform tool to resize things inside of InDesign. Now I can change the size. And then, again, I just copied and pasted right from Sketch. You could probably do copy and paste right from Illustrator as well. Again, if you're going to resize things, don't try and resize. I know you're so used to using this to resize in Illustrator. That doesn't work. You need to use this one with the little, see the little boxes around it? Then you can scale. If you try and use this, it thinks you're going to try and change the window, so you're masking out areas. I know it's confusing. It's confusing. Then with my overview there, I'm going to put some text that's next to it right here, and I'm going to write my paragraph of, why is this default font? I hate it. Make it a little bigger. And there we go. We're writing my overview, why I love this, why I love that, why I want to do things. I want my app to be the #1 app in America. Again, to make a box of text, I'm just using the text tool. So I'm done with my first page. I got an image on there. I copied and pasted from Sketch. But you can also place, if you have something that's saved, you go under File, Place. You can also place a PDF if you already have a PDF. You can place an Illustrator file. You can place a PNG. You can place a JPEG, and so on. So there we go. I got my second page. Here, let's go make a third page. So when I go to make the third page, I'm not going to start from scratch. I don't want to have to redo all this stuff. Right? What's my third page? Research? What did I list in my in my project? What did I list? What was the third or the second? Yeah, title screen, overview. What was the third page? Was that research? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So here we go. If I was going to make the research page, again, I can click on this text, I can click on this graphic, I can click on this text, and I can duplicate them. You can either copy and paste. Now here's the best way to do it, is to copy is Command C. So I copied from number 2. I'm going to go over to page 3. I'm going to go to page 3. Inside page 3, we're going to go under Edit. I'm going to say Paste in Place, because I want the stuff to be pasted in the same location as it was on the previous slide or page. Does that make sense? So use Paste in Place. You don't want stuff jumping around from screen to screen to screen. You want stuff to stay the same from screen to screen to screen. So in this case, I can change the text here. This is going to be research, right? Research. And then you can have 2 pages of research if you maybe you have one screen that you used. And also, you can replace things. So notice how I have a box here. Do you see the box that I have here with the image of my app from Sketch, right? What I want to do is I want to put an image in here that's the same size. I don't want to have to import, resize, all that stuff. It's difficult, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the content of this box with my research. To do that, you can, I have to remember here, hold on. I'm going to right click and then go to, there's a replace. I know there's a replace option. Replace. I have to try and remember how to do that myself. And double click on it. Double click. And then maybe object. Place. Where is my research? Can we download some samples somewhere? Oh, here we go. How about this screen grab? There we go. I double clicked and said place. I double clicked on the image and then said place, and it replaced it with the new image that I had, screen grab, which is a PNG. Then of course I can write about my research. And then if you want, let's learn how to make bullets. So in my writing for my research, I might list content that is working. Whoosh. Whatever. And let's put an extra space in there. There we go. So in my writing, I want to have a bulleted item of the things I like about this design. To do that, you can go underneath the type. Again, you got your bullets and numbers, apply bullets or apply numbers. Since this is not ordered, this is unordered, I might just say bullets. And then we can, I like the color, the yellow color stands out from the black. I like the gold and black because I love the Steelers. I don't know, whatever you want. Again, there is bullets, as bullets are under object. Again, you can probably figure out how to make it new pages. So you can make new pages here. If you click on the page, like if I want one that's after number 4, right? If I want one that's after number 4, I can say insert page right there, just like in the pop-up menu right there, or hit the new page button right there. And of course, we're going to use the master because we want a new page. And you can tell how many pages you want, or you can just say okay, and it'll make a new page, right? So, you know, you can make new pages very easily in this program. Okay, let's save. I'm going to save. Okay, the best probably way to present would be, I would say, a PDF. To make this into a PDF, you go underneath File, Adobe PDF Presets. You can also go under Export as well. Under Export, you can make a PDF as well right there. And there's a whole bunch of different ones. There's the EPUB I was talking about. And then there's Flash. Like, who's going to use Flash anymore? HTML, InDesign, JPEG, PNG, XML. You can make an Adobe PDF Interactive, which is where you can actually have hotspots in your PDF where people can click. So if you go through and look at some of the objects that you can put in under objects, there's all kinds of things underneath there that you can put in. I don't know where they're at. You got objects here. Interactive, there it is. Convert to a button, checkbox, and so on. So you can actually make interactive things in this program. We just had, that would take a whole, I don't know, it would take another class, I guess. But in this case, I'm just going to go export. You can either export preset. You got your high quality, you got your old versions, you got your press quality, smallest size. Depends on where you're sending it. Or again, like I said, you can just go under export right here. And you can just say print PDF, that is fine. And I can put it on my desktop. And it's going to ask you all kinds of information here. Some of this information is like, you know, do you want it password protected? Do you want to compress? Are you adding the images? Do you want thumbnails on the page? Thumbnails would be in the PDF where you have little slides along the side over there. And, you know, tags. And so they're open in full screen mode. And when the person double clicks, it's going to automatically open in full screen mode. Now that's okay, but sometimes that gets a little bit difficult because some people might not know how to deal with full screen mode. I'm just pointing it out. I've seen it before. And then compression, you can tell how to compress the images. If you're trying to make your file smaller so you can email it to somebody, probably the easiest way is to use the compression here. I used to have a woman who my students used to help a woman that made a dishcloth called Tookies. Did I tell you about Tookies? Exactly. She used to try and email her PDFs to people, right? Because she wanted to send the PDFs to people so that they could see her brochure, right, and things like that. But you know, her brochure would always come out above 20 megabytes, and it's like 20 megabyte limit. So I always would have to. She would call me, Jeff, let me help. So this is what I would tell her. Go into the compression option, adjust these so that they're smaller, you know, go down to 150 or, you know, do you really need your images to be 300 DPI, right? So you can reduce the compression on here to make it compress it more so the file size gets smaller, and it really works, okay, because it reduces all the images in your file to a smaller file, which then, as long as it's under 20 megabytes, boom, I can email it. So again, that's an important one. Bleed, I don't deal with there. So I'm going to say export. Boom. Uh-oh. What is the problem? Who cares? What? I don't care about the ICC profile. Here it is. So I'm going to open this up. Boom. Full screen mode. Boom. Boom. There it is. Full screen mode. Arrows. This is the best app ever. Arrows, arrow, arrow. When you're done with full screen mode, hit escape. It goes there. Okay, so that's how I want you to have your presentation next Thursday.